Just to refresh you guys, because we just found out Gary's not going to be here. I apologize.
Okay.
Just give him a minute.
Yeah,
That's a really long message,
That's it.
Jim. It's a card with death.
All right. Yep.
Okay, now you ready? Okay, welcome to the Sarpy County Board of Equalization meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 10th, I guess, 3:00 p.m. Anyone wishing to speak during open public comment, if you'll check in with the clerk's office, that would be great. The first 15 minutes of the board meeting is designated for individuals to address the board on topics not otherwise listed on the agenda, and if we don't have anybody for public comment, we'll move on to the next agenda item. The copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the north wall of the county boardroom. Please silence all cell phones. We have present today Commissioners Kelly, Klug, Warren, and Burmeister. Commissioner Mixon is absent today. We also have our County Administrator, Bonnie Moore, and our Operations Manager from the County Clerk's Office, Kendra Kaler. We also have Dan Pittman, our County Assessor, and I don't see Jeff Mikesell. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4 is public comment. Do we have anyone, Kendra? No. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 5, the regular equalization agenda. 5.1 is minutes, December 3rd, 2024.
Motion to approve.
second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Klug, second by Commissioner Warren. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Nixon, motion carried.
Item 5.2 is a protest hearing, failure to file personal property return tabled from November 12th and November 26th, 2024 for Asthma and Allergy Center PC, partial 010992839. This matter has been, this protest has been withdrawn, so we don't need to address it today. Item number 6 is we don't need an executive session today, so all agenda items having been addressed as published, the Board of Equalization is adjourned, and we'll move on to the Board of Commissioners. Okay. Welcome to the Sarpy County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 10, 2024. It's 3:03 p.m. We have present today Commissioners Kelly, Klug, Warren, and Burmeister, along with our County Administrator, Bonnie Moore, and our Operations Manager, Kendra Kaler. Item number 3 is public comment. Do we have anyone for public comment? Seeing no one for public comment, we'll move on to Commissioners, Administrators, announcements, and comments. We'll start with Commissioner Warren.
No.
No comments, thank you.
Bonnie?
No comments, thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent commissioners agenda. Anyone like to see any items removed from the consent agenda, or if not, a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Nixon, motion carried.
Item number 6.1 is minutes, December 3rd, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Klug, second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Nixon, motion carried.
Item 6.2 is public hearing and resolution 2024-335, Sarpy County Human Services Program Guidelines for General Assistance, Cremation Assistance, and Administrative Procedures Revisions. Sharon Bamer, Human Services Director.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. It's a state statute that we review the guidelines every 2 years. It is that time again, and it has been reviewed, and we request no changes at this time. I can answer any questions if you'd have any.
Questions for Sharon?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Kelly.
Is this a hearing
Public
though?
hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
It
My
is a
bad.
public hearing. Anyone
bad.
from the public want to address the board on this topic? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and entertain Commissioner Kelly's motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Mixon, motion carried.
Thanks, Sharon.
Item 6.3 is public hearing and resolution 2024-355, sale of excess property identified as Outlot F of Giles Point and the adjacent vacated right-of-way as part of the Connect Sarpy Road Project. Scott Bovick, Deputy Administrator.
Thank you, Commissioners. These next three public hearings and resolutions is to advertise for sale, to hold a public hearing, set a market value, and then advertise for sale some right-of-way and property that the county purchased and held as part of the Connect Sarpy West Giles project. As you know, to do that project, we had to move 180th Street off alignment to make sure that we could have the proper corridor for a bridge to cross the railroad tracks and do that alignment. On the map, you can see the three different areas that we're looking at advertising for sale. The first item on your agenda is for this larger piece of property, Outlot F of Giles Point, and then the vacated right-of-way. Earlier this year, you vacated the adjacent right-of-way, instructed us to package that together, get an appraisal on the property so that we can know what the market value is. Under statute, as part of the public hearing, you have to set a market value, but you don't have to obtain that market value. When the bids go out, you're able to accept the highest bidder, or if the bids come in much lower than expected, then you can negotiate with the potential bidders. With that, this property is about 5.372 acres when it's totally combined. Remember, there'll be easements that'll be retained on that. There's setback issues with these properties, and then access is limited. This property would only have a right-in access across from what's known as Jennifer Road. With that, I'm happy to answer any question. And I should say that the appraisal for this property did come back at $550,000. When we were working with the appraiser, we said, just give us your best estimate as the property sits today. And so that's what they came back with.
Questions for Scott? This is a public hearing. Would any member of the public like to be heard on this matter? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion?
So what happens if nobody buys it? Or bids on it? I mean, they might bid on F, but nobody's going to bid on those other parcels. I wouldn't think.
You know, they may have some value to the adjacent property owners. I would tell you, this larger property that's 5.5 acres, the appraisal was $550,000. The other two packaged parcels, the appraisal was no value. So,
Like on that housing area on the north side of Giles, what's that called?
that's
Windsor
called
something?
Windsor East, and
And they have an outlot adjacent to the property we're trying to sell, so, I mean, would we be able to gift it to the homeowners association?
that development is an SID. And if we don't get any bids, then we can work with them, we can negotiate, and we can figure out a way to have them take ownership of it.
Somebody to mow it?
They can mow it. and you know, if you look at this, it is a little strange. And I think all these surrounding developments understood that when we were doing this, that there was going to be some weird remnants out there. But if you look at this aerial, you can see that, you know, they may have an opportunity to be able to build something there. You know, we just have to follow this process to go through the bidding process.
And there's absolutely no plans to ever widen Giles Road at that location?
You know, in that area, it's ultimate, especially at the intersection. And then you can kind of see how there's 4 lanes to the east. Further to the east, it does taper down to 3.
Right.
But we retaining the ultimate right-of-way we need with plenty of space to add anything else if we need to.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions or discussion?
Is this for all three parcels? Public hearing?
I think public hearing for each, separate resolution for each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Mixon, motion carried.
Item 6.4 is public hearing and resolution 2024-353, sale of excess property identified as Outlot H of Giles Point and the adjacent vacated right-of-way as part of the Connect Sarpy Road project. Scott Bovick, Deputy Administrator.
And Outlet H of Giles Point, it's just this section down here. It's 1.8 total acres of property, no access. If you go out there and look at it, this parcel actually has a electrical transmission pole on top of it. So really, the only advantage would be to adjacent property owner to try to get in there and grade it out and make it a little more attractive. But the appraisal on this one came back as no value. So I think in terms of a bidding standpoint, it's wide open on what we'll get for bids.
Is that in Gretna's ETJ or
It is in Gretna's ETJ now, yeah.
be a good place for a statue of Commissioner Warren? What do you think?
I've been told, I've suggested that when I was mayor and been told there's not enough pigeons in that area.
We have a roundabout on 180th Street. We're in the middle of that roundabout. We can anyway. So
This is a public hearing. Would any member of the public like to be heard on this matter? Seeing none, I'll close the hearing, entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Klug, second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Mixon, motion carried.
Item 6.5 is public hearing and resolution 2024-354, sale of excess property identified as Outlot H of Windsor West and the adjacent land vacated right-of-way as part of the Connect Sarpy Road project. Scott Bovick, Deputy Administrator.
thank you. And then this last property is just 1.089 acres, some of the same challenges with it, and the appraisal was no value. So happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Scott? This is a public hearing. Would any member of the public like to be heard on this matter? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Mixon, motion carried.
Item 6.6 is Resolution 2024-339, interlocal agreement with the City of Papillion for contributions for road improvements to Schramm Road between 132nd Street and 144th Street. Scott Bovick, Deputy Administrator.
Thank you, Commissioners. This is an interlocal with the City of Papillion to improve Schramm Road, 132nd to 144th, next to the Veterans Cemetery. The City of Papillion did submit for community betterment funding through Congressman Flood's office. They were awarded the funding, 80% funding for this project. And so this is just an interlocal for the county to contribute for the portion that's outside city limits. Total project cost is estimated at $6.4 million. The county's 10% would be $640,000. Papillion will be responsible for all engineering, all construction, all federal compliance, and everything that goes along with that. They are in the process of hiring an engineering firm, going through the selection process on that, and design should be completed this year and hopefully under construction in 2026, but we'll know more once they get into the design. So happy to answer any questions on this one.
Questions for Scott?
Motion.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion? Please vote.
Commissioner Klug, I'm not seeing your vote. Ayes 4, absent Mixon, motion carried.
Item 6.7 is Resolution 2024-342, Statement of Work from E-Ring Inc. to enhance the computer-aided mass appraisal system for a not-to-exceed price of $325,500. Scott Buckles, CIO.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We're requesting your approval for an enhancement to the system we use across the county called computer-aided mass appraisal system. There's a module within the software that needs to be enhanced to integrate with a third-party software product for valuation data. So Any questions on the request?
Questions for Scott?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Klug,
Second.
second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Mixon, motion's carried.
Thanks, Scott. Item 7.1 is an executive session for collective bargaining and a legal matter.
For the protection of the public interest, I move that we go into executive session to discuss a legal matter and collective bargaining.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to go into executive session by Commissioner Klug, second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 4, absent Mixon, motion carried.
3:59 PM. At 3:15 PM, we went into executive session where our discussion was restricted to collective bargaining and a legal matter. I need a motion to return to regular session.
So moved.
Motion to return to regular session by Commissioner Mixon, second by Commissioner Klug. Any discussion? Please vote.
Commissioner Mixon, can you vote?
It is.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
All agenda items having been addressed as published, the Board of Commissioners is adjourned.